guys, today I'm going to walk you through a short set of notes about the soil profile. We're going to move into a quick study of agriculture, and in order to understand the process of agriculture and raising plants and the importance of everything that goes with that, we need to have a basic understanding of soil, its nutrients, its properties, things like that. So the first thing here is just the roles that soil plays in the ecosystem. Obviously, it's going to be a foundation for agriculture. The type of soil you have, how much water can be held with it, the types of nutrients it would have will help determine the types of plants that can be grown. It also plays a role in terms of emitting and absorbing gases, in terms of carbon sequestration, which we talked about earlier with climate change. Provides habitats for numerous organisms, not just insects, but mammals as well can live underground. Helps to control water, so flooding, wetlands, things like that, that have better soils to hold on to water can help control how much water can be released into an area. Recycling nutrients. Soil is involved in all of our cycles that we've talked about: nitrogen, phosphorus, carbon, oxygen, and water. And then knowing the type of soil that you have also determines what kind of human settlements and what kind of construction and urban planning can be done in an area. Soil is formed by 5 factors: climate, organisms, relief, parent material, and time. So as you can see from the descriptions for each, climate is obviously dealing with the type of climate that you have, which is determined mostly by the types of precipitation and how quickly things break down in an ecosystem and then turn into soil. Your organisms, like plants and animals, microscopic organisms, and even humans that can move soil around, are going to have an impact. The relief, or the topography, the slope, and the aspect of the angle of land, the position towards or away from the sun, which would tie into the weathering aspect of rock. The parent material, which is the original rock that breaks down to form soil, and then the time that it takes for these 4 factors above to interact with each other. So a soil profile is one way of looking at the type of soil that you have in an area. It's a cross section, so you can see 2 examples listed below here in the picture. Here we have an actual image of soil being basically cut in half, so you can see all the different layers. And then here you have a diagram version of it. So we're going to go through what each of these different horizons are dealing with. So a soil horizon is the layer in a soil profile that's used to classify soil. It's based on the color, the texture, the roots, the structure, and the rock fragments, and anything else that might be worth noting within that section. Master soil horizons are depicted by a capital letter. From the top down, we have O, A, E, B, C, and R, and each of those refers to different characteristics that you would find. So the O horizon, which is your organic matter, only goes about 2 feet down. This is where everything is basically growing. It's dark in color, soft in texture mostly. It contains humus, which is that rich organic material of plant and animal origin in a stage of decomposition. Think of compost. So when you take organic materials that can be broken down and form into fresh fertilizer, we call that humus. Okay, not hummus with 2 M's. That's the dip that you can eat. The O horizon is also going to have things like leaf litter, leaves, needles, twigs, moss, lichens, things like that that don't necessarily decompose quickly. That would be along the soil surface. You can have several O layers in some soils, consisting of only O horizons if it's very fertile area. Then we have the A horizon, which is the topsoil. This is the topmost layer of mineral soil, so that's still considered to be soil between 2 and 10 feet. Some of the humus is still present. It tends to be darker than the colors below it. So right here. This is the most biologically productive layer, so you would find most of your insects, fungi, bacteria being alive in this area and using this as their own little micro ecosystem. This also contains the smallest and the finest particles of soil that changes as you move from your parent material up here to the surface. Then we have the E horizon, which is the elevated layer or the mineral horizon. This is where you have a lot of minerals clay and organic matter that can leach out of the soil. Contains things like sand and silt, more commonly found in our forested areas. Tends to be a very light color, so not all soils are going to have all horizons. Then you have the B horizon, which is the subsoil, found at depths of 10 to 30 feet. Tends to be rich in clay and other minerals, including iron and aluminum. Some organic material can reach down here through leaching when water carries it into lower layers, but not many. Plant roots can extend into this layer, but typically those would be your very hardy plants, usually desert plants, and some wheat varieties can have very deep root systems that can get down here. Tends to be a reddish brownish color, again due to the containing of iron, which oxidizes into a red color, and then clay tends to be that reddish brown color naturally. Here's our C horizon, also called the regolith horizon. Can be found at depths of 30 to 48 feet, made up of your larger rocks or lumps of partially broken bedrock. This is also where our parent material would be found for soil. It's least affected by weathering and has very little change since the origin of the material found here because it's so protected by the layers above. Completely devoid of organic material due to it being so far down into the soil profile, so you're not going to get much leaching down in here. Then you have the R horizon, which is the bedrock horizon. This is 48 plus feet. This is your deepest layer. Here you go. In the soil profile, no rocks or boulders, only a continuous mass of bedrock, so solid rock. Colors are those of the original rock in the area, so depending on the geology of the area would determine what kind of colors you would see as you get this far down. So this is an enrichment activity if you have the materials and the time. I challenge you to make an edible soil profile, and you can take a picture of it or a video of it and upload it to the Flipgrid link that I'll have on Canvas for you. So you're going to take a clear container. It could be a cup, a Tupperware container, a jar, whatever you have handy at home, and fill your cup with different ingredients representing things found in your soil profiles. You can also include a drawn diagram if you want, or a key to your edible diagram. If we were in class right now, we would be doing both of these. So you would have to come up with your own food here to make your edible soil profile and then use a key to describe it. But if you're going to do this, you can just explain what you used and why you used it in the Flipgrid video. So you don't have to worry here about the table below explaining anything. You don't have to use dessert foods. This has things like graham cracker crumbs and pudding and sprinkles and gummy worms and stuff like that to represent the organic material and the living things found in soil. You could do anything that you can kind of layer and enjoy. So maybe you like more savory foods. You could do like a pasta, spaghetti and meatball type of thing. You could do a salad type of thing. So just something that shows all these different layers representing these different horizons. If you would like to do that, there will be a Flipgrid video link on Canvas that you can then use.